Hi, good evening, everyone, and I'm going to be quick. And is it okay if I remove this thing here? Is it okay? Yes. Can you remove it for me? I just want to check if my clicker works from here. Oh, it does work. Yeah. In terms of the question that here, and my topic is about leadership and excellence, and I'm trying to understand. Most of you that are busy, do you think busyness equates to productivity? How many of you believe this? Yes? And by the way, if you're hungry, just keep drinking something. And I talk about excellence, but I talk also about stillness in that picture because a lot of my clients always feel that, I've got a client of mine that attends 6% of his time is on meetings. And we begin to analyze Mr. MC. 60% of his time is on meetings, and we began to look at these meetings, and we find that 40% of those meetings are meetings that he is not supposed to attend. Strange, yeah? Actually, when I was at Deloitte, we did this study, found that 70% of C-suite executives were actually considering quitting because of burnout. Say after me, burnout. I don't know how many of you feel that just because you're tired, it just means that you're useful. A lot of my clients think that just because they're exhausted, it means that they're working hard. And the previous speaker just talked about AI. When there's so many tools, there's so many things in your fingertips, so what are you busy doing? The same client of mine that is canceling my meetings because he's busy in meetings, and I just sit him down eventually with me and said, well, what's going on? You're the chief executive. What makes you so busy? And I talk about leadership imperative, and I like this slide. I actually put this up on LinkedIn. If you follow me, you're going to find this. Just hire good people, step aside. In fact, I like this idea. I asked the question on the right-hand side over here. Yes, these lights are too bright for me. I asked this question here, so what gets in the way of leaders stepping back and just letting people shine? I mean, I heard that there's so many HR people here, and I pretend and I hope that you're leaders. And I just came from a conference this morning in Sentin, actually Parktown, and one lady was at pains for closing her laptop. She just couldn't close her laptop because she just thinks that she's missing something. There's a question here around leadership style. If you genuinely trusted your people, and how many people in this room are excited about being supervised? Do you guys like being managed? Who in this room likes being supervised? I want to talk about, I jumped too quickly. Endurance. Yes. And by the way, excellence matters. Why? Because it makes people realize what's important. And actually, I'm talking there about relentless change. And I can read this, and Mr. Chair, I'm gonna send this to a lot of people. And and human intelligence is so crucial. People, because of AI, are just lazy to think. I'm glad that the previous speaker has just taken those words from me. And we don't interrogate what technology gives us because we just think human intelligence is so overrated. And I want to talk to you a little bit about culture and connection. Say after me, connection. Say after me, connection. How many of you are excited about creating human connection at the workplace? I just came from a conference the other day. They said everyone is COVID time gone, everybody back to the office. And I asked, what science or data or insight gives you the illusion that people are more productive in a building? Who in this room can convince me that people work better in a building? And another client says, no, 3 days in a week, but we don't choose. We choose it for you. I just think that excellence is better than performance because it just creates legacy. And I'm glad that Nosipo told a story about how she started her journey. Such a powerful story. Where's she sitting? Right there. I mean, it touches, and the guy's storytelling is powerful. Because you're hungry, I don't have time to tell my own story. I like this formula because how many of you are doing work that has got meaning? A lot of work, and she's just talked about toxicity. A lot of people, someone said to me just yesterday, on Sunday lunchtime, she disengages from everything because she starts thinking about the toxic culture she has to go to on Monday. How many of you feel that way sometimes? A lot of people check out on time because they are now starting to hate about the toxic culture they have to go to come Monday morning. Meaning, mastery, and momentum. If you're excited about excellence and you combine those three things, you have a chance, ladies and gentlemen, you have a chance of mastering performance. And when I talk about meaning, I'm talking about not just work that's meaningful for you or to you, but meaningful to society as well and the brand that you represent. A lot of you are just coasting, and if I ask you, how does the work that you do align with your purpose? Can you prove it? Do you even know what your purpose is? Miles Monroe, I like him. He's dead now. He's passed. He used to say a lot of talent is in cemeteries today. Why? People like me are scared to unleash those talents because you're probably doing something that no one else has done. And I'm asking you this question. If you're a leader here, when your skills collide with your purpose, everything changes. The work that I do now is just not work, it's just life. I get paid doing it. And if you see work-life balance doesn't exist, ladies and gentlemen, if you see your work something different from your life, you'll always be unfulfilled. I spoke about this morning, that life is work. If your work isn't what you were born to do, you're probably just working for a paycheck. Can you read what's at the bottom of that slide? And I'm thinking that when people connect with meaning, and they can connect with work that has meaning, everything changes. In fact, you don't have to think about identity. Excellence stops being an initiative. It's just who you are. Yes? Very quickly, when I smell food, I want to eat and live. Culture, the oxygen. And a lot of my clients say, how do we shape culture? And I like, because my work is in leadership and culture, I know nothing about talent. I'm just here to talk. But I'm just grateful that the previous speakers touched on some of the things I was going to talk about. Oxygen for excellence. And guys, psychological safety. Say after me, psychological safety. What is that? And someone said to me, it's just allowing people to speak. Do you feel like you have a voice, you are seen and heard? But how do you create it? I have an attitude that says, when you're so transparent in the workplace, you create trust. And trust creates that psychological capital. I call it psychological capital, but if you really want to fuel high performance, find out what concerns people, what they're excited about, and let them shine. I spoke earlier about that slide that said, hire people, step aside. Because when you're so obsessed with supervising people, they get nasty and they look at you funny and they think, but you hired me to do the job, why are you following me around? And there's no one, I hope, in this room that can raise a hand and say, I like manage. Manage work, don't manage people. If you are a leader in this room, you're obsessed with managing people, you are already living 20 years behind us because people like to be led, inspired, motivated, and supported. Manage work outcomes. People know what to do and give them meaningful work and leave them to it. Here's the idea, 3 things. Trust over target. A lot of you here are just driven by targets, milestones, goals, and performance, what targets, and all of those things. Give people meaningful work, but be clear about those goals, but focus on trust. Number 2, curiosity over control. Who's still excited about command and control in this room? You are living 15 years back, if not 20 years back. I've got a client of mine that says, if you're not in the building, we forget about you. If you're not in the office, we're not going to remember you. We're not going to give you exciting projects if you're not in the office because we think wherever you are, you're not working. Got a client of mine in Centurion that says we start the week on Monday, we end the week together. In between, you can do what you like. But on Monday, you must be here, all of you. And Friday, you must be here, all of you. I ask, Miss HR, I happen to be there on Monday morning, I ask, what's the science between this Monday and Friday? So who came up with the idea that people are more productive on Monday in the office? Puzzles me. Some HR director goes into a dark room with the CEO and they come up with an idea, policy. 2022 in August, there's a study that said during COVID, while people were flexible, productivity went up by 17%. It's there. Because when you mix and integrate your home life, family life with your work life, everything changes. You can give an hour later without asking for overtime. You can actually push to 7 o'clock without asking for overtime. Why? Because you're at home. You can go do a haircut or do your nails, my sister, at 10 o'clock without asking for permission. And by the way, if you are looking for work outcomes, or who cares when people wake up when they go to sleep? If you give people meaningful work and then you measure work outcomes, who cares when they work and how they work and how long they work? Number last, belonging. We just talked about burnout. Burnout happens because people are control freaks. Managers and leaders are control freaks. They burn out, they fall over, and everything. And then people ask, how did we not see it coming? A friend of mine in Durban woke up on a Saturday morning, looked at his phone, 6 o'clock in the morning, and he fell, and he didn't wake up again. No sickness, he didn't have hypertension, he just looks healthy like me. He calls me on the next day, he says, hey, stay when you come to KZN, let's have coffee because we haven't seen each other for a long time. I get a call from his wife Saturday morning, he's not waking up. Men, 4 times heart attack than women. We don't talk. We are hurting. Our scars are internal, but they are there. Keep it up. If you're a control freak at the workplace, keep it up. If you don't fall over, you're going to go to a place and you're going to be irrelevant. You can read this if you like, but I think that sometimes we're obsessed with strategy and not culture. And this is the experience that I'm trying to figure out what the strategy is, but you're not obsessed about creating connections at the workplace. It's very, very sad. The same people that say 3 days ago, by the way, the same client I was with this morning, they got a 3-day policy now. They say starting next week it's going to be 4 days in the office. They've just decided. And I ask, oh, how did this come about? Oh, by the way, before I asked the manager, I asked the people, the staff, I said, how you feel about the idea of being in the office 4 days a week? So that's nonsensical. And by the way, this is a knowledge center where actually it's an insurance business. And people, I think that if you need your brain, your laptop and internet and a cell phone, you can work anywhere in the world. You're not working in a restaurant like these guys. You're not working in a power station or an airport. You need a brain and a laptop and internet. Why must you come to the office to be productive? And by the way, one person said in this meeting this morning, I make clients better when I'm at home. Because I have to travel to, people come sometimes to the office to rest before they work. Guys, culture grows in this way. We'll stop talking now. Culture grows when teams thrive. If you're not focusing on your people and you're busy trying to hire consultants to talk about culture, you're on the wrong side of the stick. Focus on building teams and building thriving teams. And look at the statistics. Imagine if performance increases by 60% just by focusing on the right things. I was asked to talk here about high performance teams. But look there, organizations that leverage different capabilities from people realize 60% more performance. Am I talking rubbish? Because this is statistics. And look at this one in the middle. They boost future leadership skills by 54%. I'm asking you, are you able as a leader to leverage and harness different skill sets in the teams? And then you're going to see these numbers. Last thing. Say after me, consistency. Not that you do this sometimes. You inspire teams sometimes. And my friend that was speaking before me was talking about coaching, Sipo. And I coach only 3 people in the world, my friend. You know why? Because they trust me. Because remember, when you're coaching someone, they offload all kinds of things. They talk about kids, they talk about their wives, they talk about everything. But I'm asking, who's coaching all of you here? And I'm not talking about mentorship. But we find that if you utilize opportunities to get feedback, who's excited in this room about looking for feedback? By of hands. People that like getting feedback. It's either a full hand or no hand. I mean, it's, yes. About 6 people or 7 people in this room. 7. Guys, these performance reviews, some of you are just ticking boxes. Just walk into someone and ask, how am I doing as a leader? You work with me often. What feedback have you got for me? And be authentic and real about it. Don't make for performance reviews and when you've got some KPIs to tick. Number 2, energy management. Guys, leadership is about understanding yourself. Also, if you can't regulate your emotions as a leader, soon you'll be useless. And I teach, and I've been working at VETS, this young lady knows, I've been working at VETS for 12 years, and I teach my students just to learn to regulate their emotions, whether they are men or women. Because if you get triggered quickly, and triggered as a manager, as a leader by anything and everything, you're going to be tired. Sometimes you just have to have stillness and observe and watch. Number 3, what leadership are you modeling? I'm asking warrior talent. I like the music you were making here earlier. I like it. I don't even know that you're singing at work, but what leadership? I'm asking you the question. What's your legacy? What's your legacy going to be after you're done here? It says here, walk the talk. Say what you're going to do or don't say it. Because the demise of a leader is just being unreliable and untrustworthy. You agree, my friend? You say things just to make people feel good and happy, and you do something else. And I put something at the bottom there that makes you excited, I hope. In the end, culture doesn't remember what you promised. It remembers it's about what you said you were going to do, and you practiced that thing consistently. People are not going to remember what you said. I was watching these commissions before coming here, and they were just quizzing some minister there. Said, you said that in 2020 something, but you did something else. He's trying to recover from this. It's hard. It's hard as a leader when you say something to someone just to make them feel good, but you probably go out and do something else. That's crazy. Just stick to the truth. How many of you are stuck on the left-hand side? I'm going to go sit down now. Command and control. And how many of you like receiving instructions? And I said this morning in a different meeting, most managers are just excited about dishing instructions. I just said to hire people, good people, give them the responsibility, step aside, shut up. Decision-making isolation, focusing on compliance, ticking boxes. I'd like to challenge all of you as you go to dinner. Think about this. How do I let go of control? And I move to the right-hand side of this picture. Co-creation, building trust through transparency, focusing on growth and shared purpose. This is my last thing that I'm going to say. I'm saying I'm almost pleading with all of you. If you want to be a reliable leader, someone is going to have a legacy behind you, try to shift to the right-hand side. As I close, stay away from these 7 things. I showed this to the... See, if you're obsessed with these 7 things, you're already behind. And my favorite is number 3, 5, 3, 4, and 5. You see, men have got ego. Especially men. Whether you like to hear this or not. Men believe, especially at the workplace, only I have the answers. Women or a woman is never going to tell me what to do. I like this one, number 3. Richard Breinstein says that if you don't understand people, you shouldn't be in business. Can I repeat this? If you don't understand people, you shouldn't be in business. Whether you're a farmer, whether you are a water talent, whether you're a consultant like me, if you can't work with people, go home, do something else, but you can't be in business. Number 5, ego. Ladies and gentlemen, that thing is poisonous. If you are so obsessed with power and so obsessed with personal pride and you're unshakable and nobody can talk to you about anything, and this lady last night was saying, I just told my manager that the way he spoke to me was not good, and he says, I can talk to you the way I want. She was crying. She's just sharing this with me. Number 7, I just spoke about control. If you're so obsessed with no one wants to be followed around. Guys, these 7 traits are poisonous. Stay away from them. I'm done. And remember, question. If there was a question that you're going to leave with your team or teams, and just to look back in 2025, what do they say about you? Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.